A long time ago, in the year 2005, a group of Dragon Ball Z fans gathered the Dragon Balls to wish for the ultimate DBZ game.
You see, up to this point, the poor, deprived fanbase had only known fighting games, so they craved something new.
They wanted a game with adventure, huge explorable environments, and a vast number of their favorite characters to explore it with.
But nothing could prepare them for what they received.
Your wish has been granted.
The Eternal Dragon, Shenron, as well as Atari and Avalanche Software, granted the wish of so many hopeful fans.
But the game they were given was not quite what they asked for. It wasn't a huge RPG with flawless gameplay and an endless array of characters and a polished fighting system. Many people felt cheated and hated the game, thus sending it to live out its days in the dead zone.
After years of being long forgotten, it is finally time for this game to re-emerge. It is time for it to finally get its revival. This is Dragon Ball Z Sagas.
So, when Dragon Ball Z Sagas was released, it was met with a lot of negative criticism.
Players complained about the lack of characters and moves that were available, as well as the game having a very small number of levels, not expanding on the sagas, and being very repetitive.
I mean, some of these complaints were justified. Each playable character only gets one signature key attack throughout the game. This really hindered characters like Vegeta and Piccolo, who have been known to use more than one signature move throughout the series.
But what about Goku? I mean, he really only uses the Kamehameha, unless you count the Spirit Bomb or the Dragon Fist, which I really don't see him firing off like they were nothing.
No. And I dare you to tell me one signature move that Future Trunks uses that's not the burning attack. No, go ahead. We'll wait.
Oh, okay. People were, they were also upset over the lack of stages, or more specifically, how an entire saga would be played out in about 2 or 3 levels. The game takes you through the invasion of the Saiyans all the way through Gohan's fight with Perfect Cell, and they get you there in about 19 levels.
But, you know, the thing is, how many times do you realistically want to fight Nappa or the Ginyu Force members? If you say more than once, you're lying.
Or crazy. But back to the subject. In games like the Legacy of Goku series, you fight most of the main enemies only once, and these games were critically renowned as good games. Well, I mean, at least 2 of them were.
So, other beat-em-ups use theme stages to break up the monotony. Anything from city streets with flashing neon lights to offices filled with people to the dreaded water level.
So Sagas takes advantage of these locations in the show, and it gives each one of the characters their own stage, be it the streets of West City or Namekian Village. It's quite interesting if you ask me. And speaking of interesting, let's take a look at the gameplay. You start the game out playing...
Oh, wait.
Did you just segue yourself?
Yeah.
Fine. I'll allow it.
You start the game picking either 1 or 2 player mode. The single player mode is fine, but the real fun is found in the 2 player mode.
Wait a second. Is just me, or was the level intro video different for 2 players than it was for the 1 player mode?
Yep, you saw that right. The game uses remastered clips from the show, which is a very pleasant surprise. But the little extra step of using different footage for the 2 different modes is something that you don't see very often.
When the action starts up, first thing you'll notice is the graphics. Well, not the best. They're colorful and bright and cartoony, just like the show. The character models are also quite good.
The game plays as a 3D beat-em-up,
Which was actually the main gripe fans had with the game. Sagas originally sold itself as a game where, and I quote, you could go anywhere.
Yeah, but a change does not always mean bad.
Agreed. I just know, as a kid, I loved the game. Hell, I still have a soft spot for it.
The game plays out as stages in the most well-known of the sagas. As we said before, it starts with Raditz and it ends with Cell. The whole shebang. except I guess it's not really the whole shebang. I mean, it doesn't have Boo or anything.
All the best sagas? So, Garlic Jr.'s in the game, right?
No, thank Kami they left his ass in the dead zone. However, you do get 2 stages in the History of Trunks timeline, and even a level on Yardrat, you know, the planet that Goku learned instant transmission.
That planet that gets hardly any backstory, except in this game?
Yeah, that one.
This game is literally the leading source on planet Yardrat.
I guess it is. Aside from the Yardrat enemies, there are also new Cybermen forms and new androids to round out the never-before-seen enemies in this game.
So, eventually you get Pendulum Mode after beating the main storyline. It unlocks 5 new playable heroes and lets you go back and face a new challenge as any character on any stage. Unless you pick Broly. Then there is no challenge.
Also, while there is no hard mode, you can always just fight Perfect Cell as Kid Gohan and Krillin. On second thought, maybe don't do that.
You know, I just don't understand all the hate for this game.
I agree.
I mean, for real, anyone who doesn't find even the smallest amount of entertainment in this needs to march their ass down to Capsule Corp, beg Bulma for the Dragon Radar, go on a year-long journey, find Pilaf, take his Dragon Ball, find General Tao, take his Dragon Ball, yank the goddamn Dragon Ball off of Gohan's hat, put them all together, summon the Eternal Dragon Shenron, and wish for a goddamn soul!
Or panties.
Oh yeah, or panties.
So, I'll admit, I wouldn't have wanted to have paid full price for this game, even with all that it offers. However, nowadays, you can find it for $5 or $10, and at that price, I'd say it's worth it.
If it had everything that Atari promised, I think it easily would have been worth the $60 price mark. But now that you know what to expect, I don't think you'll be disappointed with what it does have to offer.
Until next time, keep an open mind, go out there and make a new opinion for yourself.